starting here in a second.
Yep, I'm interested to see what sprites we're seeing, especially with the... Oh, okay. The sprites we're not going to be seeing this time around.
Oh,
And right off the bat, we're getting the red cane.
Oh wow, that's a really early cane. And also two invisible man sprites. What?
Yeah. Additionally, the Sanctuary is providing us with the flippers, which, like, neither of those are really going to help out right away, but the flippers will at least make it easier to get to Zora.
Well, I mean, okay, there's the hammer at Uncle. I was saying in chat earlier that this will be a super jet seat and it'll be done sub 1 hour, and I didn't actually think that was true, but apparently I'm right.
So yeah, we've got some items.
A couple, yeah.
The only one that actually opens up anything explicitly right now is the flippers. And even so, the only thing that it opens that these runners can't get to via minor glitches is the waterfall fairy.
Yeah, exactly. And considering how early they got the flippers, it might not be an awful play. I mean, it's quite out of the way. You can't check any of the other spots, but you can get the waterfall fairy cave, and you can get Zora's ledge should that hold an item you want.
I'll probably wager that both of these runners are at least going to wait until they have a decent amount of rupees, close to the 500 needed for Zora, before heading that way. And both of our runners, too, getting that weapon in the form of the hammer, are heading downstairs into the castle proper.
Yeah, having a decent weapon here and not having to rely on bombs or other weird strats is pretty good. I could use the cane, I guess, with the full magic that they both have, but that's just annoying.
Yeah, and it's also an easier death warp, only having 4 hearts and no mail upgrades. Assuming they want to bother doing that at this point. But they do find the key that leads to the back of Escape, so that further incentivizes doing the dark rooms here.
Yeah, and I think both of our runners are not afraid of doing any kind of sequence breaks, especially not the dark rooms.
Yeah, really all you need is something to help you see in the dark, be it the tip of your sword while you're holding it out for a spin attack. The hammer here, like slamming it onto the ground to let you know like where in the room you are. Like if you're close to like one of the edges of the screen or something. That's very helpful, but Psigarde is not opting to do any of that right now. I'm interested to see if Tairr decides to go for it, though.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised, but I guess with how many things they can still check without having to do any weird sequence breaks. Sidecar looks to be wanting to get that out of the way first. Check the Lumberjack Cave, then go into the Lost Woods, make his way down to Village of Outcasts, which is usually also a pretty huge item treasure trove, I would call it.
So neither runner opting to brave the depths of the castle. I'm a little bit disappointed, I must say.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. I think it's interesting to see that Tairr decides to go with the south route. I guess he's trying to get some bombs from these bushes here, which he gets. Oh, both of them.
We also get a map check, seeing one of the important crystals to open up the pyramid is Eastern Palace. I believe Desert Palace was also one of the more unimportant crystals, and Tower of Hera was, I think, the red pendant or something. It was a pendant.
Okay, I completely blanked on that map check, to be honest.
Interested to see both of these runners taking this route to Kakariko. I mean, not really finding any bombs or money in either the Uncle Route or the castle depths. I guess that sort of makes this a good play. Typically, I still like to check, lumberjack, the bush crabs, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we've seen Psigarde pick up his blue mail, or we've seen him pick it up, but we can't actually see it.
Too bad it doesn't change the color of the shadow.
No?
Getting a power glove in Thieves' Basement.
So that leaves us with either the second glove upgrade or the Moon Pearl. Well, they'll need the Moon Pearl for Dark World access anyway, so just the Moon Pearl missing, I guess.
Yep, and that can be pretty much anywhere in the Light World at this point, except for basically the mountain.
Yeah, we'll have to see where they pick it up. They still got a couple locations left. They can check the southern part. Mini Moldon. Oh, there's a first sword in the well for Tairr, and Psigarde will hot on his heels.
Gotta say, this seed is pretty light on rupees so far.
Yeah, it's not too generous yet. It might be one of those rare seeds where the Houlihan room could actually make a difference.
I wouldn't be surprised if either of these runners, after falling into the back of Escape, immediately doing Houlihan room strats and then doing like the South Shore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be a pretty good routing choice since Houlihan spits you out at Link's house. I like that idea. Let's see if they actually decide to do that.
But really, at this point, it's just mostly about gaining knowledge in the form of the library. There's also the race game that they, I guess, haven't checked yet.
Well, Tairr came from the south and he checked both. I think the library had a bee in a bottle and the race game didn't have anything of value that I remember anyways.
Wait a second. I thought Psigarde took this route as well.
No, he came from the Lost Woods. That's where he picked up his blue mail, remember?
Oh, okay.
Okay, it was another $50 on the race game. I'm kind of surprised both of our runners deciding not to pick that up with how stingy the seed's been so far.
Yeah. A bit of advice that I got, I believe, from Amazing Ampharos, was if you're still looking for money early on, you pretty much always want to do the race game if you have the bombs to spare.
Yeah, that sounds good. Makes sense to me. AA probably knows a lot more about this than I do, so any advice you can give is pretty good advice.
Picking up a mushroom in the dank cellar of the sanctuary. Psigarde is also going to be walking back through the dark to that chest that they neglected to check early on. And,
yeah, maybe... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, and also with the cane and the hammer, they could do the fake powder if they really wanted to.
Oh man, that's true, yeah. They'd have to waste all their magic first, but they could definitely get an early bat check in here.
Is this what Tairr is doing?
He's definitely making his way back into Kakariko. I think we would have seen... Okay, there's only a blue rupee down here. Where is he going with that bomb? I think if he was planning on doing it, he would already be starting to waste his magic, but I think I'm wrong. He's definitely going there. Yep.
Yeah, I would have probably started wasting magic a long time ago, because it takes a while to use all your magic through the cane.
Yeah, the cane is, you know, you have to make a block, then you have to explode it. It takes a while, as we can see here.
So this could be massive for Tairr, or it could be a massive waste of time.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what he gets out of this. Okay, there's the fake powder. Meanwhile, Psigarde is checking the back. Oh, and gets a sword upgrade here.
And the mirror. Nothing but a bottle at this stage? I mean, it's another fetch quest.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, it's a fetch quest into a fetch quest, so if Sick Kid gives us anything good, this could still be great for Tairr.
So right now, Psigarde could head to Tower of Hera whenever they wanted to. It would be a sequence break until the lamp is found, but still, or the flute, but still.
Well, sadly, that did turn out to be a huge waste of time for Tairr. Just an arrow upgrade.
I don't know, has the fake powder been used to great effect at this point in the tournament? I haven't seen it.
Yeah, not that I can recall anyways. It's just such a specific setup to even be able to do it, and most people don't really want to hold on to their mushroom if they can turn it in.
Oh, there's another bottle, so the seed is trolling Tairr twice over.
Yeah, we'll have to see what he gets out of the dam here and then the mini Moldorm caves. That's his first routing choice. Psigarde deciding to go over to Sastral and Eastern first, so we'll have to see.
One thing that's interesting is I didn't see. Oh, it isn't. New to V27, they actually put a little icon on the bottle to differentiate what all the different things are for colorblind people, and also to differentiate the gold bee. But you can sell the gold bee to the bottle salesman in Kakariko for 100 rupees, especially in a seed like this that could come in handy.
Yeah, I think it's only a normal bee though, since it doesn't have any kind of symbol or whatever next to it.
Yeah, it's a plus sign next to it if it's the gold bee.
Oh, okay, I haven't seen that yet.
Tairr opting to use the hammer, maybe forgetting he has a sword at this point.
Yeah, having a little trouble here too. Oh boy, don't. That is a painful death.
It is. And Eastern Palace, not really paying off at this point.
No, so far.
There's still one item, or at least one. I didn't see if he was able to check the big chest. But getting here is a sequence break until the lamp is found.
Yeah, very true. All I've seen so far on Psigarde's side is 10 arrows, I believe. It was either 10 arrows or an arrow upgrade. Now Tairr is on his way to pick up his mirror. And his sword upgrade, of course.
Nothing but the map and the big chest in Eastern. However, Psigarde will probably be checking the rupee room up here.
Yeah, looks like that's where he's going.
I forget the exact amount of rupees in this room, but it's around, I think it's a little bit below 100.
Yeah, I think it's around 80-ish.
So we're getting closer to the amounts that we need for Zora. I'd expect a Houlihan check at some point soon. And maybe even farming at the Ruby Cave near Desert.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, Houlihan is probably a pretty good choice right now. And And that seems to be what Psigarde is planning to do. Meanwhile, Tairr is making his dip into Eastern, will also be pretty disappointed with what he can get so far. I think there's at least one item left on Armos Knights.
That is true. But depending on where the bow is, we might not be seeing it, or it might not even be relevant at that point.
Yeah, very true. It looks like Psigarde is now making his way down to the south part of Hyrule. We will see from him what Tairr left behind in that mini Moldor cave.
I might expect to see Psigarde go towards Agina's cave right now, just to farm up some rupees, maybe.
Yeah, could also be a good choice. He's gonna pick up another 20 here if he decides to do so.
Oh, just ignoring the rupee cave. At this point, 100 rupees and change needed to get to Zora, but it's entirely possible that Psigarde will find that amount on the way.
Yeah, he's probably hoping for some more rupees in here.
Psigarde not forgetting that they have a sword, and this time a master sword.
Oh boy, he's still getting trolled a little bit, but he makes it through. Well,
Ouch.
Oh boy, and the money for Zora as well.
Tairr is not going to be happy when he sees that.
Yeah, I hope he comes back here very, very soon. And there we go, he's probably going to check like Hylia Island and Hobo and then make his way up to the Zora area, which he can fully clear now.
Yep, pretty standard at this point. Not checking Zora.
Okay, interesting. Probably wants to get into the Dark World right away. With the mirror in hand, he can maybe route it in with the Pyramid and a Quakefish check, and then just mirror back. Wait, what is he doing? Oh, he's buying bombs, okay.
I've been seeing a lot of this shop lately.
Yeah, it's weird. I feel like this shot was never used before, and now in this tournament, suddenly it's getting a lot of use. Oh, Tairr is turning in his mushroom.
Yeah, but unfortunately, that's not going to have the immediate progression in the form of the Moon Pearl.
Yeah, he really needs to make his way back to that mini Moldorm cave sooner rather than later. Alright, Crystal 6 in Skull Woods, Green Pendant in Turtle Rock, and the Blue Pendant, I believe, in Swamp Palace.
Additionally, the mushroom led to the Ice Rod, so might be useful, especially with that green pendant in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, you never know what Sahasrahla is hiding. Alright, here comes Hype Cave. Kind of undeserving of its name lately, I would say.
It's a cave of love and money.
Apparently, it is the Cave of Love today, yeah. Heart pieces and red rupees for everyone.
Didn't look like there was anything good in the waterfall cave either.
Nope, just a piece of heart and 20 rupees. Another bomb upgrade up on Zora's ledge. Tairr unfortunately not having the money for Zora yet, so he's abandoned his way up there. I hope he's making his way back down to the mini Moldome cave now.
Looks like he is.
Oh, he's probably gonna check the hobo, I guess. Maybe also buying bombs from that shop that I never see.
Yep. Psigarde is making a fatal error in snubbing the single arrow. So hopefully Psigarde knows his Silverlow strats.
He will regret this.
Also picking up the boots.
Boots from Stumpy, that is a nice find. 20 minutes in, that's not something you see a lot.
For me, it's like I either get the boots within the first 5 minutes or like after an hour.
Yeah.
So Tairr finally skulking back to the cave that's burned him before, while Psigarde accidentally picking up that bomb upgrade.
Oh, he's gonna grab that bottle from the library since he hasn't gotten any other bottles yet. Or maybe he's not.
That is interesting. Wait, no, he has a bottle, because he went to the dam.
Oh yeah, of course, he got the red goo. There's the Moon Pearl for Tairr and 300 bucks. And some other assorted stuff that he probably doesn't care about.
Yeah, the key takeaway is now Dark World access.
Exactly.
Psigarde forgetting you need the mitts to take this route. Something I do often.
Yeah, I gotta take the annoying long way around.
Also showing off apples. Something you don't see that often in races.
I like them apples.
So I don't think that was an intended strat, but it did get him back to full health.
Yeah, he's got sword beams now. Who doesn't like sword beams?
Yeah, sword beams are great. Doing like your full damage at range, it's awesome, right?
Yeah, exactly. Alright, and Sai is immediately making his way up to the treasure trove that is Skull Wood. Only 2 items, but usually pretty good items.
Yep, it's very common to have required progression inside Skull Woods.
Interesting way into Skullwoods. I don't think I've seen many people not drop down that first hole and instead use the normal entrance.
It is a bit weird, but now he can mirror out.
Yeah, which totally makes sense.
Even getting a nice bomb jump, that's one, I think, advantage of this sprite.
Oh.
Also finding the mitts here in Skullwoods. So yeah, Skullwood's already paying off. The V26 meme, well now V27 meme, is it's still going strong.
Absolutely, never count out Skullwood. Tairr about to pick up his boots. And man, this room is a joy with the Cane of Samaria.
So they don't have... Okay, so they have access to Swamp. The problem is... Psigarde apparently does not want that shield.
Oh, that seems to be something that he took out of Tairr's playbook, because Tairr is very, very conscious about getting rid of all his shields as soon as he can.
I completely forgot what I was gonna say.
Yeah, that's something that's gonna throw you off. Just wasting a couple of seconds here to get rid of your shield. Why not?
Anyway, they can get into Swamp. They don't have the hook shot yet to progress very far, so that could potentially troll them at this point. They can get into Ice, but they can't do anything there until they get either Bombos or Fire Rod. There's Thieves Town, which is a crystal, and they can both complete it and full clear it with everything they have at this point. What else?
Yeah, they don't have too many options. Oh, Psigarde is picking up the red mail from the Bonk Rocks, looking very snazzy there. But yeah, I'd assume they both check out Thieves Town as their next dungeon location. Oh, and there's the Fire Rod.
So speaking of Ice Palace,
Mm-hmm.
Ice Palace, I believe. Don't quote me on this because I kind of suck at Ice Palace logic. But having the cane, you don't need the hook shot if you have the cane.
Yes and no. I don't think it's really reliant on the hook shot because you can route it in a way where you never, depending on the keys, obviously. But yeah, all I really can say for sure, to be honest, is that if Cold Stare ends up dropping a small key, then by the logic, you're required to have the cane.
So where do we see these runners go to next, then? I mean, Tairr still has yet to get the mitts, so their options are pretty limited. And Tairr is opting to go directly into Thieves Town.
Yeah, I mean, why not? It's a crystal dungeon. He can fully clear it with a hammer in hand. He's done blue mail and quite a few hearts already, so...
Yeah, and with the boots, it's not going to get much faster. As long as you have a sword, cannot die, and have the boots, like Thieves Town is a quick clear. And having the hammer means you can get all the chests as well.
Yep, very true.
It is
Psigarde
interesting.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, it is interesting to see Psigarde doing so much overworld right now. Especially considering, that Thieves Town, low-hanging fruit is right there.
Yeah, that was exactly what I was going to say. He only opened it up, but decided to do all this overworld stuff first. Gonna throw in a bat check as well. Interesting. 2 fake powder glitches and 1 seed.
And neither of them are going to pay off. I love the fact that it's a bee as well. It's Vitor letting you know that he knows what you know.
Yeah, pretty much. It's Vitor telling you, don't cheat.
So Psigarde... No, looks like Psigarde's not going to be doing the chest. Opting to go probably into Thieves Town right now, which I don't disagree with.
Yeah, I think he figured that bringing the chest back would be too far out of the way before checking into Thieves Town. I wouldn't be surprised to see him do it afterwards. He seems to be pretty keen on, finishing up overworld stuff.
Yeah, and if the book is in here, it even sweetens the deal by allowing Psigarde to check the Bombos tablet.
And get into Desert Palace.
Yep. I believe it was GamerCal who found fake powder. GamerCal and or Evil Ash.
Yeah, you might be right on that. I honestly don't remember.
Or maybe I'm wrong. I think GamerCal found out the what was it? Like the bomb duping, the big bomb duping.
Mm-hmm.
Gem is saying XZ or XSCZO found it.
Okay. I'm not sure who that is, to be honest.
Yep. So far, nothing really good inside Thieves Town. But I mean, it's really something you have to check. It's like the easiest Dark World dungeon to complete in terms of like what you need to complete it.
Mm-hmm, yeah. And I mean, at least it's a crystal, so you just kind of get it out of the way. Of course, on your way through it, you hope to find some good progression stuff, but even if you don't...
Yeah, and like some other dungeons, it's not that much faster to full clear versus, you know, just go moding it. I can't even tell you the last time I saw a go mode Thieves Town.
Yeah, I'm not even sure. I guess you don't have to check the big chest, maybe? It's sort of like Turtle Rock in that way, where in Turtle Rock, if you go mode Turtle Rock, if the key placement makes it so you don't have to visit Laser Bridge, that's pretty much the only time save a go mode Turtle Rock can give you.
Yep, and another thing about Turtle Rock, while it's a pendant in this seed, notably the green pendant, they do have everything they need to complete it. They don't have what they need to enter it in the form of the medallion, but that's something to consider for these runners when they're doing their routing. Knowing that Turtle Rock has been open, or can be open in like one item.
Yeah, no, especially with Tairr, who has found both the rods already. That might really put Trinex and Turtle Rock in his mind.
So Tairr is going to be picking up his golden mitts, or Titan's mitts, pretty soon. So our runners will be on relatively equal standing outside of that ice rod, which we don't know if we need it at this point.
Yeah, I think Psigarde has checked a couple more overworld locations, but other than that...
So what do we still need? We need a bow, a hookshot, a medallion of indeterminate usefulness, and a flute. So
yeah.
We're quite far from go mode at this point.
Psigarde is continuing his overworld check-in. Not necessarily a bad play, it's just preference.
Yeah, and with the flippers, Psigarde can also go to Catfish if they want to. Also noticed Tairr did not want to get rid of his shield.
He just picked it up in the last chest. I was going to say, watch out for Tairr getting rid of his shield here in a second.
Okay, yeah, I just noticed he had it. I didn't realize he just got it.
Oh well, he's going to finish this dungeon first since no shield eaters are around. Are they still called like-likes in this?
Not in this game, no. They have a different name, but I don't know what it is. So yeah, Tairr having the fire rod here could be interesting. Especially considering the book hasn't been found, so the easy pedestal check is like out of Tairr's hand at this point.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. I don't think there's any items left in here, but it is a pyramid fairy crystal, so.
That is true. So Psigarde might actually be back sooner rather than later, if that's the case. And Psigarde picking up the ice rod, evening up on items. Though Tairr still does have that shield.
Yeah, he hasn't gotten around to it yet. Watch out for it.
I like how the tracker, or our tracker dude, got rid of the shield on Psigarde's side.
Yeah, gotta keep it, up to date.
So, to anybody who doesn't know, if you lose your shield to one of those enemies, for one thing, you can get it back if you kill the enemy. They'll actually drop it. But for another thing, if you decide to not get it back and find another shield later, it's going to be like the next tier shield up, as if you still had that shield. So if Psigarde finds 2 more shields, they'll be stuck with Master or the Mirror Shield, regardless of their whims.
Yeah, that was another big criticism that Tairr had after his last game. He said he took so much time getting rid of both the first shields and then picks up the riot shield against Tairr. That really messed him up.
So Psigarde has the money for Zora this time, whereas Tairr did not when he checked this area. So if Zora pays off, that's huge for Psigarde.
Yeah, we'll have to see what we get from the big fish man today. Or fish woman, maybe. I don't even know.
Well, now Tairr might still be back depending on the trolliness level of the seed, and Tairr also did not take the time to remove his fighter shield.
Yeah, I'm actually very surprised about that. But at the same time, I can't really blame him. He probably has that death in the mini Moldom cave still on his mind, so.
So Psigarde making the play to Ice Palace, which I don't disagree with.
Yeah, they have everything except for the hook shot, which might not be needed, so.
And if either of these runners know how to do the bomb jumps in this palace, you definitely don't need the hook shot. I mean, the logic still assumes you might, depending on where the big key is. But, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure both of our runners can get through here just fine without a hook shot.
We're also seeing some bomb strats here in this penguin room. Full heart container in the first room of ice. Hopefully we'll see a key in the next chest. Otherwise, it's gonna be a pain.
Yeah, we'll have to see how trolly this Ice Palace turns out for Psigarde.
You got to expect both of these runners know these bomb jumps by now.
Yeah, I think they're both probably very knowledgeable about bomb jumps in here, or pretty much anywhere in the game. Just a couple of bombs on the pyramid. I'm not sure. Did Psigarde check that?
I don't think so. And Tairr is gonna go for the Palace of Darkness gamble.
Well, I mean, they did change the logic, so the bow can be in more than just those 3 chests.
Yeah, but if the bow isn't here, and like no other good progression is here, That could put Tairr even further behind, especially if he's locked out of the dungeon, like, really early on.
Yeah, we'll have to see what he finds. He might be locked right away, so if that's the case, it's not going to be a huge waste of time.
Only finding a map in that second chest, so it looks like Psigarde is going to be doing a bomb jump. Getting the first one down, the easier one, the one in the next room, is the one that trips people up.
Yeah, getting rid of all those jellies first.
I gotta say, this is like the #1 reason to use the sprite.
Yeah, it really makes setting up those bomb jumps very nice because, well, there's no sprite blocking your view. Well, Tairr is making his way further into Palace of Darkness and finds a whole lot of keys, but nothing else.
Oh my!
Oh, well.
So there's a flute in Ice Palace.
Doot doot, I'm a flute.
So Ice Palace is already paying off for Psigarde, whereas House of Darkness still unconfirmed.
I'm surprised that we're not seeing Tairr use his fire rod here to light up some torches, but I guess he's comfy enough with dark rooms to not need that.
We also saw a glitch in that previous room where the skull on Psigarde's end did not break. I don't know what causes it, it just happens from time to time, where if you like item dash into something, it just decides not to... It like looks like you didn't break it, but it's actually broken.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that is. It's just a little wonky sometimes.
Yeah. The other day I saw a torch that was lit but wasn't lit.
Oh yeah, there's the other one in Meyer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens every now and again. This game is very well programmed. Hammer cold share, that's a brave man.
Yeah, I'd probably be using spin attacks myself, but having a blue potion definitely makes it easier. Especially with the fire rod.
Yeah, that gives you some more ammo for your fire rod, shouldn't be a problem, and there it goes. It looks like Tairr is also on his way to the Ice Palace.
Yep, not a bad play. I mean, at this point, that's their ticket to Death Mountain. These players have both been able to get to Death Mountain and do quite a lot of stuff there. Actually, but not by the logic.
Yeah, and since they both decided to not sequence break up to Death Mountain, they can now just flute there, which is totally fine in the logic.
Where is Psigarde going? Oh. Psigarde never checked the Ice Rod Cave. Oh, no. I guess they did. They're taking a warp. Oh, that's even closer to Kakariko. That's some
nice.
incredible game knowledge. I only know the 2 warps, the one that everybody uses to get to Zora, and then the one that takes you up near the witch's hut.
Yeah, I have to say those Zora water warps are probably one of the more unknown things to me. I mean, obviously everyone knows the one that goes up to Zora, but after that it starts to get a little bit dodgy. Oh, Tairr getting trolled by the crystal switch here.
So what are we seeing now? Psigarde is opting to clear out Skullwoods, I bet.
Yeah, probably wants to kill Mothula now. It was a little bit unfortunate for him that he decided to go up here first and then find the fire rod right in the C-shaped house of Village of Outcasts.
Right. This isn't going to be made much quicker through like sword upgrades. Getting tempered would make Moth a bit quicker, but that's pretty much it. Although, again, Psigarde doesn't have the book yet, so the pedestal check is now going to be a bit more of a pain. Assuming the book is ever found.
Yeah, now with the flute in hand, we might actually not get to see the book anytime soon.
So where do we see these runners going after this? I personally think Death Mountain, but honestly I might want to check Mire first just to get that knowledge and also the items in the area, and also Desert.
Yeah, I'd probably flew to Mire area first, check out all that stuff that they have there.
Yeah, they have everything they need to do Desert. They have everything they need to clear out the Mire area. They can't enter Mire yet, no matter what. So knowing what medallion you need is nice, clearing out Desert is nice. So yeah, I think that's probably the best bet at this point.
I mean, I think in total there's probably more items on Death Mountain, counting Light and Dark World.
Oh, definitely.
But there's no guarantee they're going to be any use at all. It might just be a whole lot of red rupees.
Yeah, and they also don't have the hookshot yet. And the hookshot obviously opens up 3 chests inside Hookshot Cave.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting trolled a bit by these jellyfish trying to do this bomb jump, but looks like he got it.
Yeah, very nice. Gets zapped almost into the perfect position for the bomb jump.
So what is Psigarde doing?
It looks to me like he wants to grab that chest.
Not a bad play, especially with the flute. It's still only 1 item. Like, there's nothing to combo this with. There's no Bombos check anymore. I don't know. And then, did Psigarde check the Haunted Grove ledge?
Yeah, he did. It was the single arrow that he so rudely refused to pick up.
Right. How could I forget? I don't know what's wrong with me.
And while we're mentioning that, Tairr did take the time to actually pick up that single arrow, so clearly the winner already.
I don't know why there's no spot for that on the tracker, to be honest. So it is Quake, the medallion we need.
Alright, so Quake is the required medallion, though as far as we know, Turtle Rock might still be required too.
Yep. Psigarde finding the Tempered Sword, which will help immensely in future dungeons.
Yeah, the Tempered Sword is a very, very nice find here.
Probably the best sword.
Yeah, true.
I mean, in terms of like relative upgrade value.
Yeah, I mean, the jump from Master Sword to Tempered is definitely much higher and better quality than the jump from Tempered to Butter Sword.
So looks like we'll be seeing Desert, which I don't see why you'd skip out on it.
Yeah, can also route in an Agima's cave check after he's done with the Desert. And we see Tairr looking for some hearts here, probably. Doesn't want to enter the Cold Star fight. Oh, and magic, yeah. Oh, he does have a red potion still. I forgot about that.
So one thing Tairr can do here is the sword beam strats. So if you have full hearts and you have the Master Sword, if you shoot the ice with the fire rod and then swing your sword immediately afterwards, it, for whatever reason, treats the sword beam as a fire rod hit, which is exactly what Tairr just did.
Yep, a perfect showing of what you just explained. He's also going with the hammer here, for a while at least, because he does not have a blue potion to refill his magic. Alright, Tairr picking up his Ice Palace Crystal. Let's see where he decides to go next.
I'd be very surprised if Tairr doesn't do the similar Meyer play.
Yeah, it definitely seems like the best choice right now.
Though Tairr is not taking the convenient warp back to the Kakariko area.
I'm actually kind of curious now how much time, if any at all, it saves you to swim to that warp and then walk to Kakariko over saving and quitting and dashing there from Sanctuary.
Not sure. I believe Jem said it was using NMG, but NMG disallows save and quit for some reason.
What? That's weird.
Yeah, saving and quitting is a major glitch.
No comment.
So Desert, not really having much just yet. I don't know if we saw both of the items at this point.
I don't think we have. I mean, the big key was on Torch. I saw a small key in the one chest and a compass in one of the other right side chests. I think there must be at least one item left on Land Mollusk. Oh, beautiful fight here. Oh, guess it's the map.
And yep, Tairr doing the exact same thing. So Tairr is about a dungeon and change behind. Although it is Desert Palace, one of the quickest dungeons, especially if you can enter it from the back.
Yeah, and we also can't forget all the overworld stuff that Sai has already done. Even though it hasn't gotten him anything, that doesn't mean Tairr won't be, you know, tempted to also grab the frog and bring Gary's chest back and all that stuff.
Okay, so to give an update on what happened so far in this race, we got a lot of items really early on in the form of Flippers, Hammer, Cane of Samaria, the Mushroom led to Ice Rod, and we also got the Mirror in Sahasrahla's hut. Tairr had a bit of a problem in Moldorm Cave where he died trying to kill the mini Moldorms, and as a result, didn't end up checking that spot for quite a while, and the mini Moldorm Cave contained the Moon Girl. This put Psigarde a bit ahead. They both did Eastern Palace, but Eastern Palace didn't really have anything. And since then, we've seen Thieves Town, which I don't think had anything. The Village of Outcasts had the Fire Rod. The Stump Kid had the boots. Mitts were in Skull Woods, the front half. and the flute was in Ice Palace.
Yep.
Neither of these runners have been to the mountain yet. Nobody's been inside Swamp. Tairr has cleared out a lot of Palace of Darkness, whereas Psigarde has yet to set foot in there. Most of the Dark World overworld is cleared for both runners outside of the mountain.
Yeah, and two small additions I want to make. As El Magus is pointing out in chat, Tairr is still having his shield that is clearly weighing him down, making him slower. And,
Oh yeah.
Probably most important of all, Psigarde denied picking up the single arrow and the Grove ledge in the mirror spot, which Tairr did pick up. So yeah, we'll see.
That is true. So Tairr is carrying two things, one of which is going to make things faster, that single arrow, and one of which is going to make it slower in the form of the shield. So it's really kind of a wash at this point.
Yeah, sort of evening out, I guess. Now Sai decides to also take the dip into the pod.
So speaking of invisibility, we find the cape in the front side of Palace of Darkness, which I don't think there was anything good on the bumper cave ledge.
No, it was only a red rupee, I believe.
But that does, by the logic, open up Spike Cave.
I'm also quite surprised. I never even realized when Tairr was in here, but he apparently skipped those chests. Going straight to the back.
Yeah, that's kind of a gamble, especially, well, it's mainly because you spend a lot of keys exploring the front half, and you can avoid doing that and just make a mad dash to the back. I don't really agree with it just because you could skip progression. That's very important. That's basically the reason. Also, I'm not entirely sure what just happened on Tairr's. Tairr just finished Desert. I just didn't notice him getting the crystal, and the screen went black.
Yeah, so they both picked up ether out of the big chest in Desert. So far useless, might be their entrance to Turtle Rock though.
That is interesting.
Oh, what did Sai pick up here? I checked his inventory, but I didn't see.
Nothing good, it looks like.
And we see Tairr making his way up Death Mountain finally.
So Tairr now has a lead. Huh. I'm trying to think, is there anything Psigarde has done that Tairr hasn't, that Tairr will end up doing?
Oh, there's the lamp on Spectacle Rock. And to answer your question, I don't think Tairr has brought the frog bag or the Gary's lunchbox, a couple other overworld spots maybe.
Yeah, so the lamp, I don't know. I mean, they have the fire rod. I don't like the lamp isn't huge at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it'll just get rid of the dark rooms, which is not something these guys have a problem with, as we saw both runners making it through pod just fine.
Right, but we're going to be seeing Tower of Hera now from both runners. We won't be seeing Ether Tablet unless there's a book nearby. There's also a bunch of chests in East Death Mountain that are accessible. I believe, 8 in the Light World, then 3 in the Dark World, and also Turtle Rock.
Mm-hmm. And Tairr realizes that the Hera basement is required and decides, nope, it's a pen dungeon, I don't want to waste my time in there.
chat is pointing out, the lamp, by the logic, opens up a laser bridge, which is 4 chests of indeterminate usefulness.
I'm curious to see if Sai decides to check further into Hera. I mean, one of the items was a single red rupee, so me. Oh wow, there was actually a big key in here, and Tairr just decided to leave, I guess?
Yeah, this could be pretty big.
There's a bug net for Tairr in the Paradox Cave. Oh, he's only getting to the big chunky 5 chests now.
Ooh, getting that second shield, weighing him down even further.
Oh, and there's silvers in Tower of Hera.
Oh my, that's actually really good for Psigarde.
But as Epiblyticus is pointing out in chat, I do believe and or hope that Tairr will be routing back to Tower of Hera here. Not that I think either of our runners here have a problem with the Silverless Ganon, especially with Tempered Sword in hand already, but yeah, you don't want to miss out on them if they're just so readily available.
I don't know, looks like Tairr is just going into Turtle Rock. Or trying to. Oh yeah, looks like Tairr is going into Turtle Rock, which is what Psigarde is doing right now.
So we have an almost sync going on here.
Okay, never mind. Forget everything I said. We're both going into Super Bunny Cave right away.
Interesting.
Probably a better idea than going directly into Turtle Rock.
Yeah.
Nothing but money in Super Bunny Cave.
Oh, and Tairr checking the Wombonk chest you can actually reach without the hookshot here in Hookshot Cave.
Just bombs.
Oh, is he gonna hover?
Don't do this, Tairr. Don't cheat.
Yeah, he tried and then...
Not actually cheating, of course.
Oh, Psigarde going for it too? What are you guys doing? Come on.
Don't do this.
What a bunch of show-offs.
Bringing shame on your families. Alright, Psigarde, what are you doing? Oh, just getting a fairy, probably.
Oh man, if you can grab it. Oh no. Yeah, there you go.
And also checking the cave here, the spiral cave.
Oh, and Tairr is going back into Turtle Rock.
So this could be pretty large. I mean, I don't see Tairr skipping out on Spiral Cave unless he enters Go Mode in Turtle Rock, which, I mean, it's possible, right?
Wouldn't that be something?
So yes, in terms of major items we're missing, it's down to 2. We have the bow and the hookshot, right?
And Quake.
And a Quake, yes. And a medallion. So 3. And also on Psigarde's side, the single arrow. Still need to go back and pick that up.
Yes, of course. He is at least picking up his swag net here. No way to avoid that one.
There should be like a Lens of Truth item you can get, where you just see what's inside every chest before you open it.
Oh man, that would be awesome. There's Psigarde picking up his second shield, which means he's probably not going to be happy about that.
Yeah, and nowhere near any of those enemies, the names of which elude us.
According to chat earlier, they're called pickets.
Pickets. Makes sense. Psigarde actually using the bug net to good use.
Yeah, and I don't think I've ever seen someone net dash into that bunk rock pile and immediately catch the fairy. That's a very nice tactic.
Yeah, that is something I haven't seen either. So Tairr has a lead going through Turtle Rock. He's about, I don't know, a third of the way through the dungeon.
Mm-hmm. None of our runners so far have checked the spike cave.
It looks like both of our runners correctly realizing they don't have the hook shot and not taking the wrong way. Because
yeah, thankfully.
Without the hook shot, if you go the other way, you're going to run out of time. I think it's possible to make it to the door without falling off the platform, but it's incredibly tight on timing. So I haven't found much in Turtle Rock just yet.
Nope, apparently Tairr just found the sand card, but that's about it.
Let's see if Mimic Cave offers up anything better than what we've been seeing so far. I mean, outside of Turtle Rock, what else do we have to check? We can't get into Mire. We can get into Swamp Palace, although it's a pendant, and we don't have the hook shot, making it especially not nice to enter. But we do have the hook shot now, on Tairr's end, at least.
Oh, the hook shot in the Mimic Cave, okay.
Yeah. So, the hook shot now kind of points to Swamp, assuming the bow isn't in here.
Yeah, I mean, unless the bow is on the laser bridge, or I guess on Trinex, or maybe even Sahasrara with the green pendant.
Or it could be on the pedestal.
Yep, definitely a possibility. As could Quake, for that matter.
Oh, right, Quake. I keep forgetting.
Need to get into Mire somehow.
Oh yeah, the hookshot also opens up Hookshot Cave, which is 3 more items. There was a race not too long ago where one of the runners decided to leave the mountain after finding hookshot, I believe, inside Hera. And Hookshot Cave had the last item for go mode.
Oh man.
The runner still ended up winning because neither of the runners made that play. But Psigarde's going to be picking up their hookshot here in a minute. While Tairr is getting a little bit trolled by these eye lasers. One of these has to be a small key, and the other one is just a piece of heart.
Yeah, so other than the hookshot and the Mimic Cave, this, so far at least, has been pretty disappointing Turtle Rock.
Have we seen the compass? I know we saw the map early on. So maybe Trinex just has the compass?
Yeah, I don't think Trinix is gonna drop an item other than, of course, the green pendant.
Oh, and notably, Tairr did not take the safety. Does have red mail, but I don't believe Tairr has any bottles with potions or fairies.
No, I don't think he has any safeties left. He needs to be a little careful here.
And we have in this tournament, I think even recently, seen a racer fall to Trinix through hubris.
Yeah, you can never underestimate him. He pops out his little middle hat there, and then sooner than you know it, you're dead.
But Tairr expertly taking out Trinix. Psigarde is just falling off the laser bridge a bit. I wonder if they'll be taking the safety.
No, I think he's, with all the hearts he still has left, he's probably pretty confident.
Tairr is trying to get hook speed and failing a couple times. Unfortunately, I thought he was just trying to tell Turtle Rock exactly what he thought of it by putting the hook shot in there.
It was probably a little bit both. Oh, and there's Quake.
Quake, which if the bow is in Swamp, going to Quake is gonna be. I mean, they have to do Mire anyway, but if it's a quick Mire with the big key early on, these runners can get trolled a bit having to full clear it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Psigarde is gonna let the hookshot cave opportunity slip away, so Psigarde is not that far behind.
Yeah, not at all. I'd be very surprised to see him not immediately go back just like Tairr did.
So in terms of Overworld, we don't have the books, so neither of the tablets are in play as of yet. We haven't seen Spike Cave, but I think that's about it, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So it's pretty much down to dungeons. And if the bow is in Spike Cave, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, the best thing for Tairr right now will be bow and Mire, obviously.
Yeah, we have officially entered bow mode, according to chat. But Psigarde is going towards Spike Cave, so this could be absolutely massive for them.
Oh, and there is the Dream Mire that you were talking about, the God Mire.
I really want to see the bow in here now. No offense to Tairr, it's just too delicious. Half magic.
Well, that's still a pretty good find. Not something you really need to progress, but definitely nice to have.
Yeah, not necessary, but yeah, that's nice. So what are we seeing? We're seeing Armos. Huh, Armos has an item still.
Yeah, but without the bow? I think he's just turning in his green pendant.
I don't know what I'm thinking. Yeah, we're seeing the green pendant. The big
What's
20
this? Aww.
green pendant.
Oh man, and Maya really forcing Tairr to go through absolutely everything.
Yeah, and at this point, like, Tairr... Unless Tairr decides to exhaust some of the leads we've seen Psigarde go for, instead of going into Swamp, Tairr is a pretty sizable advantage right now.
Yeah, he is, well, more or less all of Maya ahead. Not quite all of it, but pretty significant amount, I'd say.
Right. So yeah, so far, Maya is not the place to look just yet. Although I've seen Bo and Meyer more often than I should.
Yeah, it's, not much I can say about that, really.
Nothing on this right side of Misery Mire except some keys, so it looks like Vitreous has an item.
Yeah, and if this isn't the bow, then I guess the next dip will be into Swamp. Where else can they go?
And noticeably, Psigarde is go-moding this. It's not an uncommon strat if you find the big key early just to go to Vitreous and see if they have an item, which in this case, they do.
Yeah, I mean, it's not an awful idea. Just get this all done with, see what you can get from Vitreous, and then if you have to, you can always go back in.
So the bow at Vitreous would place Psigarde maybe like 30 seconds ahead. And outside of... I think both of our runners have fully cleared Palace of Darkness. I don't know, did Tairr find the big key in Palace of Darkness?
Yes.
Okay. Because if not, Tairr or Psigarde would probably have an advantage there as well. But if the bow isn't here, I'm gonna expect Tairr to go directly to Swamp.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
And Psigarde might actually go back inside. Unfortunately, both of these runners are going to be weighed down, having to carry that giant slab of metal this whole time, like a ball and chain.
Yeah, it's not getting easier for these guys. Finding yet another shield.
Tairr is opting for bomb strats, interestingly enough.
Yeah, he never picked up that cape, so...
That is surprising. So Psigarde has an advantage, or had an advantage that we weren't really considering in that cape.
And Tairr is also down to 2.5 hearts, so he really needs to watch that lightning.
Yeah. I don't know if it's 1 or 2 eye hugs that can put him out of his misery at this point. But Psigarde is going back inside and is not going to be happy.
Yeah, that second item really isn't anything you want to go back for, but of course he has no way of knowing that.
And Tairr taking the incredibly safe strat here on the big Vitreous eye, which I totally endorse. Like,
yeah.
That eye is more unpredictable than it seems.
Alright, Tairr, where are you going? Are you indeed going to make that swamp play?
I think Psigarde... I don't know if it's this chest. I don't think it's the big key chest that has the item. Nope. So we have a fetch quest on our hands.
Wait, did Tairr skip that chest?
That is a very good question. Did Tairr skip that chest? And Tairr is checking the old man?
Yeah, he never went back in there.
Did Psigarde?
Yeah, he sequence broke it before he went out to get the lamp.
This is what we saw Tairr do last race versus I keep forgetting who played him.
Yeah, I think I even commentated that race, didn't I?
Oh, it was JSR.
Oh, right.
But the shovel not really doing anything for us. Psigarde is actually checking this cave.
Tairr immediately checking the dick spot.
But I'm wondering, considering where Tairr is, will he end up thinking like Kakariko and checking those items there instead of going into Swamp?
I might, but it looks like he's fluting somewhere. Might still flute to 3.
To Kakariko.
Yeah, looks like it is Frog and Gary's Lunchbox time for Tairr, so unfortunately that will lose him some time.
Yeah, so Psigarde is, unless we're forgetting something, pretty much in the lead.
Yeah, and since he seemingly is gonna dip into Swamp now, this might be a huge play.
Tairr is apparently not fully learnt the V26, V27 rule of thumb. If you can go into a dungeon, go into a dungeon. Which I don't agree with. Like, I think this play is a good play, knowing what Tairr knows. But it's just not the right one.
Yeah, I mean, this is really what Rando comes down to, more or less in almost every race. It's just you have two basically good decisions or good things you can do, and one of them is just simply not the right one, unfortunately.
So how far into Swamp Palace will we be seeing this? Or could it be like, could it actually be at the pedestal? Nope, it's right there.
Oh man.
Sorry, your dreams are dead, pedestal lovers.
So that is officially go mode, I would say.
So yeah, Psigarde is in the lead, depending on what Tairr does now.
And you know, those are some very fortunate last 2 crystals that Psigarde has here with the bow just now.
Okay, so we're seeing Tairr go towards Swamp, but I believe Tairr never checked out what was inside of... Oh, never mind. We can't actually access the pyramid. I was thinking of a different race. So it looks like we will be seeing Swamp on Tairr's side and a go mode.
Yeah, so Tairr not too far behind at all here.
It does take a bit longer than you might expect to get into Swamp with all the mirror warping you have to do and the dam opening animation, stuff like that.
Yeah, it is quite annoying.
But Psigarde also has the benefit with silvers. So that's another thing that's gonna make things faster for him going through, assuming he remembers he has them, which he does.
Oh, that was definitely not what he wanted to do there.
Well, fortunately, Psigarde and Tairr both have a bajillion arrows.
Yeah, they should not run out of arrows anytime soon.
Psigarde not even having to check that ledge item. All you need is that small key and the big key to make it to the boss. As long, along with like your lamp and hammer and bow. Yet we're seeing Tairr do the exact same thing, which, I mean, you wouldn't expect anybody to do anything differently. The wombo combo of Palace of Darkness into Eastern Palace is one of the more satisfying things to do in Randomizer.
Yeah, especially if you can go mode both of them. I mean, not really a huge difference in either of them if you have to, or if you get a chance to go mode them. And considering they both checked out most of pod and EP already beforehand, not exactly a time save, but still very pleasant to do.
So things aren't looking that great for Tairr. This could come down to Ganon's tower routing. It could come down to Troll Dorm 2. It could come down to Aga 2. It could come down to Ganon Death or Ganon Fall, but both of them have a lot of hearts and red mail. We haven't seen Powder yet, so that's a bit of a concern. But both of these runners are very good at execution.
Alright, there goes Helmasaur King for Psigarde. One more crystal left. He is probably going to mirror straight away. Of course, to the Light World and into EP.
So, chat asking where silver arrows were. They were in the Tower of Hera upstairs. Tairr entered the Tower of Hera, found the first item in the basement, and then just immediately noped out.
So, Tairr is slowly making his way over to the Helmasaur King. Waiting for that wall to open always feels like an eternity, especially when you're racing. Meanwhile, Psigarde just making his way back to that big key door. As we've said before, they've both cleared out most of what they could do in both Pod and Eastern Palace already, so it's really just a mad dash to the boss. Psigarde grabbing a small key. And Tairr giving Helmasaur King the waff for with the hammer. Gets a little trolled by the immediate fireball, but nothing too bad. Go, Helmasaur King dead.
Yep, while Psigarde is entering the Armos fight.
What a timely refill.
That actually does save a bit of time.
Yeah, it does. Alright,
So,
guys. Go right ahead.
you can have the honors.
I see a lot of numbers flowing through the chat already. You guys know what's up. Psigarde making his way up to Ganon's tower now after picking up his last crystal. And our wonderful tracker, the dude already starting the guessing game. if you are a supporter of any of the speed gaming channels, which means you've either subbed to any of them or you have donated a total of 250 bits, you are eligible to play along with the game. There are 22 locations where the Ganon's Tower Big Key can be. Guess your number 1 to 22 where you think it will be. Do you have a number that you pick, or do you just go random every time?
Well, I believe you and I picked the same number. In 8. I always go for 8.
Oh yeah, I do too. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I don't know which of us said 8 first.
I hope I did, but we'll see.
You did, actually.
Yay! It's never 8 anyway, though, so whatever.
Yeah, it's weird. So yeah, Psigarde is going to be opening up Ganon's Tower at the same time that Tairr is taking down Armos with his silver arrows, assuming he... Oh wait, never mind, he doesn't have silver arrows.
Yeah, Tairr having to kill Armos Knights the slow way.
But pulling off the quick kill, so not a lot slower than with the silvers in hand.
Yeah, definitely still does a very nice job.
So finding a small key here on the right side against its tower, most runners these days will opt to check the right side. That is exactly what Psigarde is doing. Now again, this is not an insurmountable lead by any stretch of the imagination. Tairr could decide to take a completely different route and get rewarded or punished for it. If Tairr decides to take the same route, which, I mean, I wouldn't blame him at that point.
Yeah,
Psigarde will still have a bit of a lead, like 2 minutes, maybe 2.5.
Oh, and there it is. So if you pick number 3, I guess.
Yeah.
You are a winner.
So yeah, if Tairr does anything different than what Psigarde just did, Tairr is losing time.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really unfortunate because Psigarde has, the silver advantage. Psigarde has a time advantage. And I think Psigarde still has a fairy, so he caught a fairy a long time ago.
Oh yeah, that's very true. I completely forgot about that fairy.
Whereas Tairr has no safeties at this point. Psigarde getting trolled by these spikes a little bit. I'm wondering if we'll see the refill room, considering no powder. Taking a fall to Ganon Ball Z. Another advantage that Psigarde has is this half magic, which allows him to use the fire rod going through Gauntlet. And will probably make the ascent with the torch puzzles coming up fairly soon a bit faster. Psigarde taking a death does have that fairy though.
Yeah, not the end of the world. I'm sure he'd rather save the time instead of having to get a fairy revival here, but at least he doesn't have to redo the whole gauntlet.
Right. But it does raise the pressure a little bit.
Yeah, since he has used his fairy now, and I think the only blue potion that he bought, he used that one earlier on Cold Stare already, so He might still have that red potion, though. Alright, so Tairr is now making his way up. They're really not that far apart. I mean, as you said earlier, a lot of things can still happen.
Yeah, I'm especially worried only seeing these 6 hearts. I would have probably liked to have seen Psigarde take the safety room. And even taking a fall there, so only 5 hearts now. Also misusing...
Yeah,
Taking
we're gonna
another-
say the same thing, I think.
Oh, thank goodness.
Okay.
On the plus side, Psigarde isn't going to be soft-locking in that room.
Yeah, that is always very nice. Not soft locking, I mean.
Psigarde not even going for... I guess... They already have Sank Heart, and I don't think Psigarde has nearly enough small heart pieces. But
no, since he just got a refill on Armos Knights, his last crystal.
a powder in one of those 2 chests would have been really nice, though. But Tempered Sword, only having Aga 2 and Ganon to go, I think Psigarde is feeling a little confident.
Yeah, I was teasing the Moldorn 2 hover there, but I'm glad he didn't try for it.
So let's see how trolly Aghanim will be today. A mediocre pattern, if I've ever seen one. I don't know if that was a single or a double.
Yeah, that was really close together.
That was definitely a double.
Nice double there, despite the blue ball.
Okay, we're either at 4 or 5. And it was a single first time.
Mm-hmm. And,
So,
sorry to cut you off, but while we were worried about Psigarde's heart count earlier, look at Tairr right now.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Tairr is not looking very healthy. Alright, so this could come down to Ganon, depending on Psigarde's NMG strats. With half magic in the cape, though, that's another advantage. Psigarde could switch to the cape right now. Please, switch to the cape. Please switch to the cape. Okay, we're past the most dangerous part of this fight. But I believe one Ganon hug is still death.
How with red mail? I'm not sure. I think it's 4 hearts with red mail.
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm not sure myself, but I think he should be fine.
Oh no.
Oh, this is gonna be real clenchy.
Yeah. Okay, we're getting a double here. And...
Alright.
Good. Ganon is down.
Phew. GG to Psigarde, and congrats on his win.
So, Psigarde finishes in first place with an SRL time of 1:39.24. So, good game to Psigarde.
Yep, GG to him. He is already in the waiting room, so I'm gonna pull him in here for his post-game interview as soon as we switch over the audio. Words. I can't word good. Hello, Psigarde. GG and congrats on your win.
Hi, thanks.
How are you feeling after that?
I was pretty damn nervous. Because I cleared everything.
Yeah. You had a bit of advantage early on, because Tairr died in Mini Moldorm Cave and didn't visit it until much later.
Ooh.
And if you don't remember, the Moon Pearl was in there.
Yeah, oh, that sucks.
I believe you had more overworld check than Tairr. Tairr just ended up... Tairr was in Swamp like 2 minutes before you. Or 2 minutes after you.
Huh. But yeah, like, the only overworld I didn't do that I could is, like, Fat Fairy and Pyramid. That's it.
So,
yeah, pretty much.
How are you feeling about your health situation in Ganon's Tower?
Surprise! Suddenly I got wrecked by a lot of things. Oh, I should probably stop, like, the stream. Or I should stop watching the stream because it's apparently lagging my own. Oops. But yeah, I knew I had a fairy, so I wasn't, like, super worried when I died, but it still felt kinda bad.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, both you and Tairr took gambles into Palace of Darkness, though Tairr did it much earlier than you. Tairr also didn't get the cape, so Tairr also didn't get the silver arrows and is having to do silver right now.
Oh dear. He didn't go to... Like,
well,
did he just bail out of Tower of Hera after, like, the first...
It was just very weird from him. He went downstairs, saw the single green rupee, opened the next chest, which was obviously the big key, and then he just left.
Huh.
We'll have to ask him about that one later.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it seems kind of strange to open both of the chests.
I know that Tairr usually tries to avoid pendant dungeons as much as he can, but if you're already in there...
Might as well. I was thinking it was a pedestal seed until, like, I went into Swamp.
Yeah, I believe I was saying something along the lines of where in Swamp or in the world is this bow gonna be just seconds before you got it. So yeah.
Screw bow. I agree.
Yeah, Tairr not too happy with that bow location, and who can blame him?
Yeah. Like, I was considering going into Swamp when I first went into Dark World, but I figured that was gonna be a bad idea in a tournament.
Oh, and this also reminds me, the beginning of the seed was absolutely insane item-wise.
Yeah, you started with, like, cane, hammer, 2 swords, a mail, and boots. Or, not boots, but glove.
Yeah, and you had the flippers right in the sanctuary, so everything was right there in the beginning. And then, of course, since you get a lot of items in the beginning, something has to end up being super trolly, and this time it was the bow.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping for, like, that not to happen, considering we didn't have Shades as commentary. Like, every single race that he comments, there's one item.
Well,
it's obviously a coincidence, but still.
The plague is spread to this race.
So.
No, every race is now the worst.
But yeah, I mean, it was a pretty good race, all things considered. You guys were pretty close for a lot of it, doing a lot of the same things. I mean, the game didn't really give you many options for a lot of it.
Yeah, like after a while it got very linear in terms of where you could go unless you wanted to sequence break.
Right. Yeah, and Ice Palace was probably the biggest play both of you made, and you both made it like within a few minutes of each other, and it really paid off.
Yeah, like I thought that like you must have had access to like Cane of Burno or Cape before. Oh wait, you did have access to Cape. Yeah, I was just trying to figure out how the flute could be past the spikes. Because flute obviously gave you the hook shot on lamp, so.
Hello there, Tairr.
Hello.
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 Hello?
Hello.
I can see this will be a good post-game interview.
Wait, hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Anyway,
Yes, moving on. Tairr, we already
Hello?
saw some of your thoughts. Please, Tairr. We already saw some of your thoughts in IRC here. Not a big fan of the bow location, I'm thinking.
It's the second time the freaking bow screws me over.
yeah. Unfortunately, you also weren't very fond of the Silver's location either, which were in Tower of Hera,
They were in Tower of Hera? Okay.
right upstairs,
Oh,
and
okay.
and the Cape, which would have made Ganon a bit less stressful, was in Palace of Darkness at the Vanilla Big
Who the
Epic
hell needs a
location.
cape?
Apparently not you.
Hey, who needs the cape? We're already invisible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too bad it
Yeah.
wasn't on pedestal.
Just because I'm in the same group as Ben and share the same name as him doesn't mean I need to share the same curse with the bow.
But yeah, so one of the bigger things was that Moldorm cave death for you.
Yeah, that screwed me over big.
But you did recover pretty quickly after that, and we're even kind of in the lead in terms of like progression for a lot of the seed. But it
Yeah.
really like kept changing places because Psigarde checked a lot of overworld earlier on, and then those were places that you ended up checking later. So it was like stored time.
Okay.
I don't know.
Hello?
Any select words that you have to say about this seed that are family friendly?
Hello?
Hello.
Okay, good enough.
That's everything I need to say about the seed. Hello.
Yeah, makes sense.
Cool. Any other thoughts on the seed, Psigarde?
Boots in Link's house? Maybe? I don't know.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea. Just put it there all the time.
Yeah, I mean, if it's there all the time, it's not a trolling location anymore, right? Because everyone knows where it is.
Yeah, and that would be good. Early boots are always good.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I mean, it was about 20 minutes in until you both grabbed your boot, so that was probably a pretty nice find.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna ask when he picked up his boots.
Yeah, it wasn't too long after you, a couple of minutes maybe.
Okay.
But the boot was kinda a nice location.
Yeah, like, I was glad that I decided to go to the left when I went to Hype Cave first time around, just because usually I just end up going straight to Thieves Town after Hype Cave. And then I would have gotten boots really late.
Well, I had the options to mirror and then go up and use the Kakariko portal. I believe, yes.
Yeah.
But when I found the boots, I was like, hello, boots.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Oh.
By the way, hello, chat.
Yeah, they're very excited about you and your hellos.
Cool. Well, if there's nothing else, then I guess that about covers it. Certainly,
Yeah.
if you like what you saw from either of these runners, toss them a follow
Not a hello.
and a hello. I mean, you could just pop into their stream and give them a hello the next time they're streaming, or even right now, like you just go into their chat and spam
Oh
spam
God,
hello
I
until
better
you get
open it, I
global.
guess.
Yes, if you like what you saw, say hello to both of these guys and also throw them a follow.
Yep.
And just to give you guys a quick schedule update on what else you can expect today, we have race 3 of Ninban versus Clifford in the secondary tournament on SG3 at 7:30 p.m. ET. And we've got Ben TZ versus Big Dunka on the main channel Speed Gaming at 9 p.m. And we have another race going on at 8, but I don't think the restreaming channel has been quite figured out yet, so we'll keep you updated on that one. Of course... oh, sorry, go ahead.
And that's Kransoon versus Tojso.
Toyso. Like a toy and then so. But yes, as we've said a couple times before, if you've enjoyed what you've seen from both of these runners, throw them a follow. I also want to give a big shout out to our tracker, the Dude, for keeping track of all the items in this race. And of course, another big shout out to my co-commentator Rubel. You should also throw that guy a follow for sure.
Well, yeah, if you want to. And also a shout out to Herfy Durfy. Throw them a follow.
Hello.
And shoutouts to the creator of the Invisible Man.
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Best sprite in the game.
Alright, well guys, I think that's gonna be it from us for now. Thanks again to everyone involved. Of course, also thanks to Fiesel for the restream as always. And well, I've been Herfy Durfy. I hope you enjoyed what you saw, and I hope you guys have a good night.
Yep, hello.
Hello?
But hello. Hello?
Hello? Okay, I think we've helloed enough. You guys have a good one.